In the heart of London, just a 3-minute walk from King Charles's own residence, a secret peace summit has taken place. This wasn't a clandestine meeting between rival nations, but something far more personal and potentially just as explosive. The key players? Not presidents or prime ministers, but the trusted aides of a king and his estranged son, meeting for the first time in years to try and mend the deepest fracture in the modern history of the House of Windsor. For the first time since the bitter feud erupted, a direct channel of communication has been opened between the camps of King Charles III and Prince Harry. This is the most significant step yet towards a possible reconciliation, the strongest sign that both sides finally want to resolve the rancorous family war. Today, we are going behind the palace walls to dissect this secret meeting. Was this a genuine olive branch or a carefully calculated public relations move? And more importantly, who blinked first in this royal standoff? In this deep dive, we will uncover the identities of the powerful aides who met in the shadows of a royal palace. We will reveal the incredibly symbolic location chosen for this delicate negotiation, a place whose very motto speaks of the peace that has eluded this family for so long. We will then trace the painful history of this feud, from the bombshell Oprah Winfrey interview that shook the monarchy to its core, to the explosive memoir, Spare, that seemingly severed the brotherly bond forever. And finally, we will ask the ultimate question: is a genuine family reunion even possible, or are the wounds simply too deep to heal? Let's unravel this royal mystery. The setting for this historic encounter was as symbolic as it was discreet. The talks were held at the Royal Overseas League, a prestigious Grade 1 listed private members club in London. Founded in 1910, its mission is to foster international friendship and understanding, a poignant backdrop for a family torn apart by misunderstanding and international distance. And the ultimate irony? The club's patron is none other than King Charles himself. It's a location that screams reconciliation. A neutral ground handpicked, it seems, to send a message of intent. Inside, on a Wednesday afternoon, under the warmth of a 26 degrees Celsius sun, the summit began. Representing Prince Harry was his most senior aide, Meredith Maines, a seasoned Silicon Valley strategist who is now his chief communications officer and the head of his newly formed household in Montecito. Her presence, flying in from Los Angeles, signals a highly professional, strategic approach. This was not a casual family chat. This was a negotiation. Alongside her was Liam Maguire, who runs the Sussex's public relations team in the United Kingdom and, crucially, is a graduate of the Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, just like Harry. And representing the king? His own communications secretary, Tobin Andrier, the man who shapes the monarch's public voice. Eyewitnesses described a casual scene. Mr. Andre arrived carrying a gift from Barry Bros and Rudd, the legendary wine and spirits merchant that has been supplying the royal family since the year 1760. A literal peace offering, perhaps? The trio were seen chatting over drinks on the club's beautiful garden terrace, overlooking Green Park. Sources say there was no formal agenda, just an opportunity for casual drinks and an open conversation. A source close to the proceedings stated, "There's a long road ahead, but a channel of communication is now open for the first time in years." There were things both sides wanted to talk about. But to understand the sheer magnitude of this small meeting, we have to remember the scorched earth left behind by this conflict. The feud didn't just appear overnight. It began in earnest after Harry and Meghan moved to California and sat down with U.S. chat show queen Oprah Winfrey in March of 2021. The interview was a nuclear event for the royal family. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, described approaching the family while pregnant and struggling with suicidal thoughts. A cry for help, she said, was denied. "I just didn't want to be alive anymore," she confessed to a global audience of millions. "And I remember how Harry, just cradled me." She claimed she asked a senior royal about getting professional help, but was told it wouldn't be good for the institution. Then came the allegation that sent shockwaves across the world. Harry claimed that a member of his own family had expressed concerns about how dark his unborn baby's skin color might be. The royal family's response was swift but guarded. containing the now infamous line that will forever define this era: "Recollections may vary." It was a polite yet firm public denial that only deepened the chasm. The public was divided, and the family was in crisis. What an absolutely devastating series of events for any family, let alone one constantly in the public eye. The pain on both sides is palpable. If you are finding this deep dive into the royal saga compelling, please take a moment to hit that like button. It really helps us bring you more stories like this. The damage from the Oprah interview was immense, but for Prince William, the final straw was yet to come. It arrived in the form of his own brother's memoir, Spare. The book laid bare the brothers' private lives in excruciating detail, including a shocking claim that William had physically attacked Harry during an argument over his relationship with Meghan. For Prince William, who will one day be king, this public airing of dirty laundry was seen as the ultimate betrayal. The book, combined with the earlier interviews, created what seemed like an unbridgeable divide. Sources claimed there was zero trust in Harry from the royal side. So how do you come back from that? How do you even begin to talk again after such wounding public accusations? Well, it seems the first step isn't between the principals themselves, but through their most trusted lieutenants. The choice of Meredith Maines to represent Harry is particularly interesting. As his new chief of communications and head of his Montecito household, she is the architect of his current media strategy. In fact, it was Miss Maines who organized Harry's recent British Broadcasting Corporation interview in May of this year. And that interview perfectly encapsulates the tightrope Harry is trying to walk. On one hand, he expressed a clear desire for peace, stating, "I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore." He even acknowledged the pain he had caused, admitting, "Of course, some members of my family will never forgive me for writing a book. Of course, they will never forgive me for lots of things." But in the very same breath, he threw more fuel on the fire. He publicly took aim at his father over the ongoing dispute about his security arrangements in the UK, calling the removal of his automatic police protection an old-fashioned establishment stitch-up. He directly suggested that his father could resolve the situation but was choosing not to, claiming the king won't speak to me because of this security stuff. He also made a remark about how much longer my father has left, a comment that was widely criticized for fueling speculation about the 76-year-old monarch's health. This is the core paradox of the entire situation: a prince who says he wants peace, but whose actions and words continue to publicly challenge and criticize his father and the institution he leads. This is the complex and contradictory reality that these aides were trying to navigate during their secret summit. The security issue remains the biggest, most tangible hurdle. After stepping back from royal duties in 2020, Harry lost his taxpayer-funded police protection. He has fiercely contested this, insisting he and his family are at risk when they visit the UK. For Harry, this isn't just a logistical problem, it's a deeply personal one. It is a matter of status, of recognition, and for a man whose mother died under the glare of public pursuit, a matter of profound anxiety. He maintains that if his father would only step out of the way, he could get his police protection back. He sees his father's inaction as a personal slight, a sign that his family's safety is not a priority. This issue has become emblematic of the deep mistrust that defines their relationship. It's a standoff. Harry feels he can't fully return without guaranteed security, and the king seems unwilling or unable to intervene in a complex government-level decision managed by a body known as RAVIC, the Royal and VIP Executive Committee. This is the knot that must be untied for any real progress to be made. Despite this, there are other glimmers of hope. Last month, it was revealed that Prince Harry had decided to extend his own olive branch to the royal family by inviting them to the 2027 Invictus Games, which will be held in Birmingham. He is said to be hopeful that the event, his signature achievement, could provide the perfect setting to end his self-imposed exile and mark a return to the royal fold on British soil. It's a long way off, but it's another sign that Harry is thinking about a future that involves his family. Sources say the meeting at the Royal Overseas League was just the first step towards reconciliation between Harry and his father, but at least it is a step in the right direction. The sentiment, it seems, is that everyone is tired of the fighting. Everyone just wants to move on and move forward now, the source added. It was finally the right time for the two sides to talk. Following the meeting, Miss Maines flew straight back to the United States. She is understood to have reported directly to Prince Harry at their £15 million mansion in Montecito, which now serves as the headquarters for the newly formed Sussex royal household. This development itself is key. By creating a professional setup that emulates the rigid structure Harry knew from his time at Kensington Palace, the Sussexes have created a more formal, less emotional way of communicating and negotiating. This structure may have been the very thing that made this secret summit possible, allowing aides to speak to aides and shielding the principals from direct and potentially volatile confrontation. So, what does this all mean? We have a secret meeting, a symbolic location, a gift from a royal wine merchant, and a shared desire to move forward. But we also have a mountain of hurt, a deep-seated mistrust, and a huge, unresolved battle over security. This fragile truce could be the dawn of a new era for the Windsors, a slow and painful healing process that begins with aides talking over drinks. Or it could be another false start, a temporary ceasefire in a war that is far from over. While the aides have opened a door, the real work must be done by King Charles, Prince Harry, and Prince William. They are the only ones who can truly decide if the House of Windsor can mend itself, or if its deepest wounds will be left to fester for a generation. The outcome will not only affect a family, it will help to find the reign of a king and the future of the monarchy itself. What happens next is anyone's guess, and you can be sure we'll be here to cover every development. Make sure you're subscribed and have hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next update on this incredible, unfolding story. The world is watching to see if a family can find its way back to each other.